You asked for it.
That's the creepy part is because she seemed both times, Buffalo Wild Wings 2 weeks before and the week before that, she seemed absolutely fine. And I asked online, who watches her daughter. She's like, oh, just a person I've known for like the past 6 years, somebody who I really trust. And that was part of the AIM logs that I sent to the previous detective.
And how long ago was this conversation?
This is 2 weeks. It was after the UFC fight, so it was still around the 2 week time frame before her arrest.
So early July, she tells you she had someone watch this kid for the past 6 years. Did she ever mention the name to you?
Never, no. I didn't bother to ask. I didn't.
Okay, and is that the only time she ever mentioned that she had somebody watching the child, or do you recall her mentioning before?
I don't recall her mentioning it before.
All right. You mentioned possible. You mentioned something about her work. As far as you knew, she worked at Universal.
I thought she worked at Universal this whole time.
Would she ever bring stuff to you from Universal or invite you to special? Did she ever get you into Universal, kind of like to show that she worked there, or did she ever do anything to?
I never asked. I mean, I know she worked at Fusion, but at the same time, she said that she still, works as an event coordinator. I know she worked at Fusion, I think, one night a week or something. So I just never asked. She invited me to Fusion constantly, though. Just never got a chance to go. Did
you ever know anything about her working at Sports Authority?
That was maybe. That was when I first met her. Mm-hmm. That was in 2007. I know I think she worked at the Sports Authority warehouse or something. I know she went back and forth with the store, but I thought that was true.
Okay, you say you thought that was true.
Yeah, I thought I did.
Up until now?
I guess. That's not true either.
If I were to tell you that she's never worked at the Sports Authority before, would that be a surprise to you right now?
Yes, because in 2007 we were supposed to go to a concert together, and she told me she had to work on late night at the warehouse to do inventory, so she didn't go.
Do you know Lauren Cobb?
Yes.
Okay. If you talk to Lauren Cobb, she should be able to give you an idea of what happened at the sports site with Lauren Cobb or Lauren Gibb now.
I know both of them. Lauren Gibbs, Matt Gibbs' sister.
Okay. Well, if you ask them about Sports Authority, they'll tell you what happened with that, I suppose, if you're friends with them. So Sports Authority, she told you early 2007 that's where she was working. Canceled the concert because she said she had to work. Did after she was arrested, in the times that she came out and she was back at the house, did you talk to her, text her, anything like that? Did she reach out to you at all?
Not at all.
She ever tried to say, hey, I want to explain what's going on? What about the morning or that day that just before she was arrested? Do you remember getting text messages from her?
It was
or calls from her?
No, I remember she called Sean that in the middle of the night. That morning, one of my good friends, Layla, she went on the MySpace. She was just browsing MySpace. She saw that everything's changed. Caylee's missing. So I immediately called Mallory Parker. That's Lee's girlfriend, and then asked what's going on. She was telling me Caylee's missing. So Lee calls me just an hour later. He starts telling me to spread the word. I'm telling my friends this and that. But I didn't hear from Casey at all. It was Mallory and Lee that I found out through.
So Casey never directly called you that day or the next morning?
No.
Did anyone call you from her phone? Do you remember?
No.
All right. Has she ever? So she never talked to you about this. I guess since the day she was arrested, she's never reached out to you.
No contact at all.
What about with Lee or with Mallory or any other of the family members? Have they relayed any messages from her to you, or have they talked to you about what's going on?
I think I did speak to Lee maybe a month later. He was on her AIM name, so I thought it was her. So I said hi, but it was Lee just going through messages, I guess. Mm-hmm. I think that was the only time. I talked to Mallory often. Her parents, no. I know everybody went to the Sunday vigils and the search parties. I never went to all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I took myself off her Facebook and MySpace 2 days after it happened because I kept getting harassed by reporters and stuff. So I guess I fell off the radar with them. Yeah.
Yeah, the only one. From the time that you knew her in January of 2007 to, I guess, the last time you saw her, did you ever see or notice a change of attitude with her?
Never change of attitude, but there was times where she would just all of a sudden drop out of the blue and stop hanging out with us. And this is, I guess, when we found out because she's dating somebody. I guess she wouldn't bring them around, or she didn't want to hang out with us. Because those are, Annie and Sean, those are friends since high school, really good friends. So, but attitude-wise, no.
So no big change in as far as she would get upset more easier, or she was upset, angry easier. She would cry easier. Show emotions, kind of be bipolar, anything like that.
No, I've only seen her cry once over a guy. So.
It wasn't Jesse, was it?
No, it's Brandon.
Okay. Speaking of Brandon, were you at the party where she went accusing him of having a miscarriage?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
They were. I know they were talking outside or in the bathroom, either or. I can't remember.
Which party was this?
I think it was anything but close party. Yeah. What he told me is that she was like, I wish we'd talked more since the miscarriage, this and that. But he didn't believe that. And I guess he told me that she expressed that she still cared about him after such a long time. That was the extent of it.
There was an argument. It wasn't more talk. It was kind of like,
I don't know about the argument. It was outside. I was inside. But I did see her crying, though.
All right. Do you know how close are you to Brendan's now? Are you guys?
We joined the army together.
Okay, I'd say
he peer pressured me into it, so.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So
we're close, yeah.
Did Brendan? Is that the first time Brendan knew about a miscarriage, or did he talk to you about it later, or what's the deal with that? Because that would kind of.
They stopped dating early 2007. He went back to the army, and he said that she said she had a miscarriage, that she was pregnant, but then she had a miscarriage. But he didn't believe it. Not taking anything away from Casey, but a lot of people in the military. This is a story like girls try to hold on to these guys by making that up, and I've seen it time and time again. So nothing new. And being that I guess Casey now is a pathological liar, I trust Brandon. I believe him.
Okay.
So,
do you know, based on what you know about Casey, and I guess the whole story you've watched this unfold for the past several months, what do you think may have happened?
I think she killed the kid. I don't think anybody else was involved. But I guess after the first couple of weeks, I always knew. My friends were at the other end of the spectrum. But, I'm being realistic, not being cynical. I can't. All the evidence, so that's what I went with. It all made sense.
You say you believe that she did it alone. Do you have any personal knowledge, or has anyone come by and told you in confidence, hey, I know what happened, and expressed what actually happened?
No.
Okay, so nobody, as far as you know of, there's nobody that she's opened up to that maybe share that information with you?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where she would have put Caylee?
No. I guess your guess is as good as mine. I always thought, because my house is just a mile from the landfill. She used to go to my house all the time, so and if it ever crossed her mind, that would be a place that she could go.
Near your house or at the landfill?
The landfill.